What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's go. There you go. Philly's #1 contractor in the building. Kels, what's happening, my man? Miss Shay, how are you? I'm gonna hit you up soon. House is still intact, so I ain't called you yet, but I'm gonna call you, Shay. What's going on? What's going on, fam? What's up, Kel? Ain't nothing. Just trying to plot on the day tomorrow. Got to go down to LNI, Jay. You know, about to get it done. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all share this out just with one person. We got a couple guests tonight that I want to share some experiences with y'all with some people that, you know, are getting their stride. You know, I know y'all see a lot of people on Instagram that's out here killing it. But what about the people that are killing it but aren't necessarily out in the forefront? So tonight's guest, when he gets here, we're going to be able to share his story and his journey. He's a dad. He's a real estate investor. And then tonight we got a special guest as well. After that, Temperance, she's going to be talking about the real estate agent side and how she got into the game of, you know, real estate as a real estate agent who's holding it down with a 9-to-5 but killing it as a real estate professional. So, you know, and again, thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, you should have sent the request, Tone. I didn't know you was in here. I got you. Mike the Motivator in the building. What's happening, Mike? Appreciate you. Tone,
Yo,
what's up?
what's good with you? I'm still getting new to all this social media stuff, man.
Hey, ain't nothing, man. Well, you here. That's all you had to do. Just be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, but we glad to have you. So, you know, I just was saying, so for those who don't know, Tone is a real estate agent, been an agent for how many years, Tone?
Man, since 2008,
All right,
like
since
13 years.
yeah, I'm about to say I'll do the math later, but yeah, long
13
time.
years.
Been putting the work in 2008, and how long you been real estate investing?
Off and on, believe it or not, since 2012, but like really, you ain't gonna believe me, bro. Really, like this last year, it's
The
been like
pan,
the pandemic. I don't know what something was in the water or something.
I, well, I think the pandemic forced a lot of people to figure it out or sit on the side. It was either one or the other. You either gonna stay on the side or you was gonna figure it out. So I
Yeah,
think that the good things about the pandemic. But like I said, I wanted to give you your flowers because I mean I've been watching you. Me and you've been networking for at least 3-4 years, and you know, like I said, every time I look, if you're not at a closing as an agent, you at a closing for yourself, buying something or selling something. And I'm like, let's go, Tone. So you know, I just wanted to salute you, but I also wanted
appreciate
to
it.
some of that journey with people because I feel like a lot of people see Instagram and they see certain people doing certain things, but don't realize that those people were beginners or just getting their stride at some point. So, you know, so I thought it was dope, like I said, to be able to show you like, yo, you're a person who's been doing it and yo, you literally, like you said, the pandemic, you've been picking it up and you on fire right now.
Yeah, it's a blessing. God is definitely shining His light on me, man. I'm just trying to absorb all of it, man. And big ups to you and Lorenzo and all the guys in the group, man. Like, you know, just being around y'all, that energy, and just knowing that, you know, I have people that's out here that's on a higher level than me, knowing that I could tap into if I have, you know, get any struggles. It's huge, man. It's huge. I definitely appreciate you for, you know, for opening, you know, the doors and accepting me.
Well, we just, you know, all are welcome, man. We just trying to build that brotherhood and that bond, man. But so would you say though, how can I word? Would you say being in certain rooms or being around certain people, like being in that like you said, being in with the network, it kind of like gave you not the courage, but I would say it gave like that the encouragement to like, yo, I can do this.
I definitely did. You know, it was inspiring knowing that I'm around people that look like me. You know what I mean? And it definitely gave me the encouragement and the go ahead, like you can do it. Like, you know, they can do it, you can do it. So it helps, man. You gotta be around like-minded people. You know, it's like if you're trying to learn how to fly a plane, you can't be constantly around people that drive buses,
Right.
you know. So that's definitely where it's at.
What would you say, like, being in the game this long, like, what were some of the things that you were thinking, knowing what you know now? Like, what did you used to tell yourself was so hard about doing the investing?
Not having the money, that's one of the biggest things. Like, I don't have the money. I don't make that type of money to, you know, to invest. And that was the biggest thing.
So what change can we act like what changed from thinking you needed the money? So like I guess do you have the money now? Did you form partnerships? Like what kind of clicked for you?
Well, at first, I mean, it just again being around others and hearing their stories and how they're going about it. You know, learning about hard money lending and learning about the private lending and things of that nature. And I guess I just use my money differently now, you know what I mean, than I did back then. And so I was able to get, so what happened, what got me my start was I've been wholesaling off and on. And I just got sick and tired of not, and it wasn't like I was hating or anything like that, but I'm on the other side as an agent getting a commission check. Everybody else getting those, you know, the investors getting those profit checks. It's a big difference. So I'm like, yo, something is going, I gotta switch it. Then I'm find myself being scared to get in the fix and flip because for one, I'm hearing everybody else's horror stories. Oh, the contractors, this, the house, that, and it's like, man, well, I don't want no parts of that. So I froze up. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep wholesaling. Then I was wholesaling, and I'm like, wait a minute, I just sold this dude a fire damaged property. I sold it. I got it under contract for 30, sold it to him for 55, and he put that joint on the market, I think, and made like and put up it's like almost for like 290. So
Right.
I'm like, so I something got to give. And then my first property in November, I brought it, the one on Gratz, and I was like, you know, I was gonna wholesale. I'm like, yo, I got this. I'm gonna wholesale this. Then just seeing y'all stories and then other, you know, networks I'm a part of, I'm like, wait a minute. No, I'm doing this. I don't know where I'm getting the money from, but I'm doing this. And that fire damage property that I wholesale, it was taking some time because this was around the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and it was some pieces that needed to be gotten still from the city, and they was
Right.
on some you can only mail me. So it's like when I finally said, you know what, I'm taking it down. Poof, the gates opened up. Oh, we got the clear to close. I said, we got what? So that started it.
Okay. So for you and your journey, you did the agent, you did the wholesaling, but in that process you were learning things, but then you also were telling yourself, yo, initially you were trying to make the quick money. You
Trying
didn't
to make the quick
have
money.
tools to make the bigger bag and be patient to do the rehab initially.
Yeah, I mean, I did that because I thought I couldn't do the other. You know what I mean? Like I said, I let everybody else's fears affect my decision on what I
Ooh,
really wanted to do.
I like that. So it was not that you really didn't think you could do it, but you just like you said, you heard all these other stories from people. And these people, I bet, they weren't even active. They were just they did a house or two.
Yeah.
And then but now the difference is in your progression, you start hanging around some people that do this. It either gotta work or it gotta work. And you realize, like, yo, if I take that approach, I could do this because I'm finding the deals.
I'm finding them. That's half the battle right there, being able to find them. And if you can find them, you can definitely. So if I'm getting it, I looked at it as all right. I'm getting them at a low enough discount that I could sell it to somebody else and they still make a big bag. So I'm like, wait a minute, something like so that just means I can make a bigger bag, and
Right.
it just clicked, and I man, I just said, you know what, I literally just made my mind up. So I don't know where I'm getting this money from to do this deal, but I'm taking it down myself. And I could have made a quick 20 grand off that wholesale deal. But
Right.
I specifically said I'm not wholesaling. I don't know how I'm gonna do it,
Right.
but I'm taking it down. So but you know, that wholesale deal happened. So I took some of that money and then I got creative with the seller because I think my first property, the seller, I promised them 90. And after I did some research, after it was all over, when it's time to pay the piper, I really started thinking about like, yo, I think 90 might be a little too much.
Right.
And then my hard money lender, because I was just my first hard money loan, they hit me in the head something heavy because
Right.
I was a newbie. So it was like, all right, if at 90 I need to bring like almost 30 to the table. I don't have 30 to bring to the table. So I instead of me panicking, I had a couple conversations with people. Then I came up with, look, what if I ask the seller? Now I don't know these people from a can of paint, but the answer is no unless you ask. I said, what if I ask the seller to let me give them 15 grand after we settle? So give you
Ooh,
75 at the table and give you 15 grand when I sell.
that's not bad. I never even did nothing like that. So you got your price down, needed less closing costs by doing that. And then they just had to trust you when you sold it, you
They
cut them
they
a check.
they had to trust me. Again, I met them through texting. So they knew me all of probably at that point 30 days.
Right.
And I went to them as an older lady and her daughter, and I just said, listen, we got two things we do. I'm a man of integrity. I promised you 90,000. I want to give you that 90,000, but I
Right.
need a little help. And he's like, what is it? So I was like, listen, we can do this two ways. Either I can give y'all 80 at the table, y'all walk and everything be done, or let me give you 75 at the table, and then in 6 months or less, I'll give you the other 15.
House sales.
I'm in the house sells, and the older lady, the owner, she's like okay. I'm like, okay. Like it wasn't no fight or nothing. I'm like, all right, well, just sign this. Like, and man, it was a blessing, man. And
Nah,
then on top of that, though, right? So the hard money lender, they they gave me an ARV of what was it, 225.
okay.
They gave me an ARV of 225, and because I didn't have central air and I wasn't putting central air in it, but I did a big I put a lot of money into it, but they didn't give it to me. Then I ended up selling it for 251.
Ooh. So then you even double back with the bag to make up that 15K you initially was gonna have to give up. So you ain't even care now because now you done made more profit and you the realtor, so you save on the commission.
Oh, I paid myself 3.5% on that.
3.5.
I got to pay myself handsomely, man.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I just looked at it as either way, it's still going to me. So
Right.
what, what I'm saying? But I could just feel like I could get a little bag as an agent, and then I can get a little bag, as the investor. It's all the same thing, really. But I just
Right.
wanted to, tax purposes.
I understand. That's what's up. That's what's up. So you did that deal, and then what have you done since the first deal? Because the first deal was back in November.
Well, that's when I acquired it. It didn't sell until June of 21.
Okay.
So that sold June of 21, and then what else? I don't forgot. That sold June of 21. Then I bought a property in the Northeast. That's the flip that I put on the market and got four offers in 2 days,
So, but you
20K over.
bought that window.
I bought that in August. I bought two in August.
So you flipped out the first,
Flipped out
jumped
the
right
first.
back into August with a new one, and then that's under
Two.
contract September, October, now November.
Right. So I bought a flip and a rental in August. the rental, it should be up and run. It should be finished by
That's
within
super.
another week or so. No. That's a single family in Glen Olden, 3-bedroom, 1 bath in Glen Olden.
Okay. Okay.
So that's my rental. And then the one in the Northeast that I just put on the market Friday and got under contract in 2 days, 20K over asking. That's a flip. And then well, like last Monday, that's when I bought the duplex. Now listen to this though.
Ooh, wait. But wait. So you went from a person that wasn't doing no flips, buying no rentals in a 12-year span to the pandemic hit. The pandemic, when people said houses cost too much, is no inventory, construction is too high, and you pulled off not one, but 2 flips in less than 12 months.
And
And
two,
the one single family rental and then a multi-family property.
now look how I pull this
But wait,
duplex off.
real quick. You didn't. So what happened to the part in between where you didn't know anything to now you know everything or got the whole team? Like,
I can't even, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna lie. Like God is good, man. And just being in the right places, hearing and learning and resources, and it just so happened that I ran into an old friend of mine that he started he a GC, got his own company together because he had people he was doing it for himself, just doing rental properties, but he found some guys that was good and wanted to keep them employed. So he said, well, look, let me just start going out and getting other jobs. And I just happened to run into him. And we was talking, he told me what he's doing. I'm like, look, well, I'm looking for some good people. He's like, all right, well, let's connect. So I was able to connect with him, and man, it's been love, man. They do what they say they're gonna do, and they get the job done, man.
that's
And
major.
yeah,
But
that's half the battle right
but
there, man.
but if I go off of Instagram, no, you done bought these properties, right? But what happened to the part about you ain't getting no private jet or no Rolly, you ain't go get no Porsche? What
Nah,
happened to that part?
man, I don't know what they be doing, but that I ain't even thinking about all that. That
Okay.
I don't know. I guess that's for the gram or whatever. But I'm
But
living real life. So
got you. So you taking that money though and reinvesting it, and that's how you basically took that one house and bought 3 more properties in basically 90 days.
that's crazy. That's
Unheard of.
crazy.
Unheard of.
It's crazy.
You sitting on any more properties? I see some people making comments like, we might need you to get back to wholesaling.
Well, I mean, I'm still like right now with everything I got going on. The duplex, that's obviously that's my biggest project. I think that one is like probably going like 150, 160 in rehab. So that's the biggest one so far. Which I know I'm gonna outdo that and have more later. But right now, so look how I got the duplex though, Ant. So the duplex, right? I gave the seller, I talked to the seller. I said, look, I'm gonna need some help. So this is how we tweak it. I gave him 103 at the table, right? He holding 40. I gotta give him in a year, I gotta give him 40,000,
Okay.
right? So it came time for me to come to closing, and I had the money, but my man that gave me my money back, he gave me a personal check, and it took 5 days to clear. So I was supposed to settle on a Monday, and the check wasn't going to clear till Wednesday.
Right.
So I go to the seller. I said, listen, I got a problem. He's like, uh-oh. Because it took him he been trying to sell his duplex for since March,
Okay.
right? He went through he tried it with the first guy 3 different times, and he couldn't get his financing right. Then the lady that lived in there, he tried with her. She got upset because all of the repairs that came back, and he wouldn't fix nothing. So she got frustrated. So then that's when he came back to me, and then me and a couple partners was trying to take it down together. It was something with the title what they wanted to use a certain title company, but even though the title was already clear with just other title company, but they just was like, no, I don't trust that. I want to use my title company. So they ran it. Something came up, and they like, it's going to take us at least 30 to 90 days or more. Seller like, no, I'm not waiting. So I'm like, I'm buying this junk. Like, this is at 52nd and Cedar. I'm buying
Ooh.
it. Yeah. So it worked out. So the day comes, like, a couple of days before close, I said, listen, I showed them my account. I said, look, I'm waiting for this check to clear. I need 15 grand. You give me seller's assist at the table for 15 grand, and on Wednesday I'll bring your money right back.
Right.
And he did it.
Yeah, he wanted that
So
check. Yeah.
he was gonna get it either way, but I wanted to get it out of the way because between Monday and Wednesday, that's a lot of time. Anything
Right.
can happen.
Right.
So I said, let's just give me the 15 and I'll give it right back to you. And then I had to pay two people, did cash for keys for two people that was in there because they was in there for 8-9 years paying $650 for each unit.
Right.
2 bedrooms. I'm like, that's unheard of. I don't need y'all in there when I buy because that's a headache.
Right. So, one, salute and congrats.
Thank you.
And then two, if you could talk to somebody that's, trying to get in this game or that's been in the game, but they having internal battles, because that's really what it is. Like you said, it's these battles we put on ourselves. What would you tell them so that they could get going?
Man, just stop thinking about what everybody else talking about and get around people that are doing it and just ask questions. And I don't think nobody gonna just sit there and hold your hand, but be realistic, you know what I mean? Ask the questions that you need to ask and just take action. That's really it. We're in our own way. And then, if you think you can or you can't, either way you right.
Right.
So bet on yourself. And that's what I did. I just bet on myself. I knew I wanted more than just working. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. But if I could do it all over again, I probably would get in ahead and not kept my 9 to 5 because that helps feed and you're bankable at that point. I would have did it like KR did it, waited till a while, you know what I mean? Or,
right.
Or Dwayne, you know what I'm saying? I'd have went that route versus because it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, being an agent because and we with our money, it's hard. You know what I mean? Because we try not to show we making money. So then when we need to get money, it's like you're not making no money.
Right. But that's also to the resources, like you said, because before we didn't have the lenders we have now, where we could do no doc loans and they only underwrite the deal. But to you, I feel like the balancing act of trying to save money to invest, but still make money to live life without the 9 to 5. Yes, there's a lot more pressure on you, and it takes time to get your stride. And I tell people all the time, like, it probably took me a good 6 years, 5 years to get some good momentum, and then I didn't get my stride, like you said, until the pandemic hit. Now I'm not trying. I'm not trying to come off the wave. I'm trying to keep that thing going.
Absolutely. So I got a house right now that I'm wholesaling. Remember I was talking to you about. So I got a buyer on the hook. Yeah, I got a buyer on the hook. We still negotiating. He's going to see it tomorrow. He made me a cash unseen offer. I told him 150. He told me 140, but he never even went in and saw it. And I just told him, listen, you got to get in there and see it because 140 is okay, but I know if I put it on the market, I know I'm gonna get more for it because it's not in bad shape.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I wanted at least to make 20 grand. You know what I mean? So instead of 15, but I'll take the 15. Don't get me wrong, but I just believe I can get the 20. So we're gonna see what we do tomorrow.
All right. Well, that's what's up. So I'm saying, send me some more of them duplex deals at 100. Need some of them or some of them fire damage joints that you got. So that's dope. So like for you, you're finding your own deals, you're putting the work in, and now it's like you're figuring it out. And that's it, figuring it out. Why you It's easier to figure it out while you're in the hot seat versus trying to figure it out from the outside. I
Right.
buy the ugly, and Keith, we got you, Keith. We got you. So they got a list. So for real, you could post them in the group. You know what I mean? And we could make a bag in the network.
You said I buy ugly on there?
Yeah, I buy them ugly. Yup.
That's my man Malik. What's up, yo? He that's my guy that got me through my first John Gratz. He like
Oh,
I yeah, he like heavy. He took me through it, man. And
right. Better than success.
yeah,
Yep. Shout out to Malik. He
yeah,
another wholesaler out here getting them.
yeah. So he definitely helped me out.
Moni Love, shoot Tone a DM. He'll send you the wholesale deal in Glen Olden as well.
I'm be honest. That one kind of like sold because this is a cash buyer that's
I
pretty
mean,
heavy in the area.
he might change his mind.
He ain't gonna change his mind.
You
But
never know.
I'll send it. I'll send it. Send me a DM. I'll send it to you. But I'm definitely gonna be getting more properties and all over. So
Okay.
I got some tricks up my sleeve right now.
Hey man, well keep the momentum because it's nothing like I tell people when you could get your flip going or your rental going, but still having some money coming in between that. You know what I mean? And now you don't, like you said, you could keep reinvesting the money from the flips or the rentals. And like that's really like Malik says it all the time, Coach Carter. You build your momentum by investing your profits, not spending your profits. So
Right.
you know, people like my struggle was I was spending my profits. So once I stopped spending my profits and being disciplined, like you said, you could do 2 flips in 9 months for real, depending on what you got going on. So and it's like, yo, it's crazy. So and it's a blessing because you realize you really don't have to work that hard if you make the money work for you instead of you working for the money.
That's it. That's
So
definitely it.
so definitely appreciate you, Tone. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on that you might want to share with the people that again that they trying to figure it out, they trying to connect them dots?
Yeah. I mean, just you got to take a look at the whole picture and just see like what is it that you truly want. Why? What's your reason for doing what you're doing? And what do you want to do? That's another thing that because being an agent and being an investor, because I get a lot of people saying, I'm an investor, but should I get my license? That depends on what you want to do. Do you want to, help people make a commission helping people buy and sell, or do you want to buy and sell and make a profit? They're two different things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I accidentally bumped into wholesaling after I got my license. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I'm an agent and somebody else trying to sell something. I'm like, okay, what office you with? Like, office? I ain't no agent. I'm a wholesaler. Like, that's illegal. Like, they're like, no, it ain't illegal. You just got too many restrictions on you. And as I went and dug in, and I'm like, wow, like, I'm on the wrong side of the field.
Right.
But I worked so hard to get my license. I'm not going to let it go. I'm licensed in Pennsylvania and in Delaware, and I think I might go get my Jersey license. So it helps me as an investor because now I can list my own properties. I can do run comps and just I
And
can do a
expand.
lot. Because,
Right.
yeah.
So a
So
question is, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you about to finish saying?
no, just know what you want to do and just do it, and don't
Right.
let nobody tell you that you can't.
For sure. And listen to people that's actually doing it. I think that's the
That's
key.
that's
Don't
heavy
be
to
listening
keep.
to Uncle Joe and Cousin Chris. They did this 10, 15 years ago. The game ain't the same. The numbers ain't the same. Like you listen to them, but don't take it to heart, and then don't put yourself in a mental cage. Don't put all their thoughts and their opinions in your thought process.
Yeah, definitely.
So, question for you: where you see yourself in the next 2 years, knowing all the things that you're able to?
Ooh,
This
man. It's kind of heavy. In 2 years, I see myself because I'm turning it up in 22. So I think because to be all true told, like in the last year, I think I bought 5 houses. So if I could buy 5 houses in 1 year and I'm like really not, all the way dialed in,
Right.
why can't I buy 10 next year?
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? Then
Woo.
the next year after that, why can't I buy 20?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't necessarily got to be single houses because I'm moving into the multifamilies now. I'm trying to catch up with you and start getting the triplexes and looking at the 5 and the 6, 10 units. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Now,
And
I'm the
even move.
small pup. I'm the small
Yeah,
pup.
yeah. Call it what you want.
I'm listening. I'm listening to Lorenzo, Dwayne, and all of them. I'm the small pup.
Yeah, but you still you a pup. You're a pup bigger than me, right?
Right. Right. Right.
So I mean, so I look at what you do and I appreciate you. And then
Right.
definitely, when I see what you do, I'm like, yo, like, all right, I can definitely do it. And I thank you again for because you ain't had to let me in the group. You didn't. You know what I'm saying? You didn't.
Right.
Let's keep it
Right.
one. You control that. So I
No, it's
definitely
all
appreciate it.
love. Well,
But
we got a good synergy, and that's the thing. We looking, like I said, to connect with brothers that, like, yo, like you said, you're not out here doing it because you're trying to floss. Like, no, like we really do this because we're trying to provide for our families, but we also want something different.
right, right. So again, I still appreciate you.
Right. Nah, well, salute. We appreciate you for putting in the work, and we love seeing the fact that you done grown. Like you said, 5 houses in a year. That's crazy. That's crazy. So 2022, you saying you going for another 5 or you going for 10?
Oh, I'm going for 10.
Okay, look, y'all heard it first. So we gonna have this live again next year, same time, and we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. So definitely appreciate you. And then 2 questions for you. Can you give some insight on where you're finding deals or how you find deals?
Y'all not even gonna believe me. Relationships. Relationships. The
That's
only
it.
house that's the only house out of the 5 houses, the only house that I didn't get from a relationship was my first one, which that came from texting. But the other 4, I knew the sellers.
Relationship and just opening your mouth.
Relationship and
Talking.
opening your mouth.
Just
That's
talking.
it. Now I know next year, when I'm doing a 10, it's gonna be a little deeper than relationships.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that relationship, that's not scalable.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I got some tricks up my sleeve. I ain't gonna say nothing yet, but we'll when we revisit it, I'll tell you how I got the 10 and the at least 10, at least 10. Because it's nothing. It's once you know that you can do it and you got the right pieces to the puzzle together, and you got the resources to the money. Is you need money. Nobody said it had to be your money. So
Say that one more
that's
time. Say that one more time.
you need money, but no one said it had to be your money. So
Let's
once
go.
you start,
That's major. That's major. Yo, so y'all heard it first. Definitely appreciate you. 2022, we looking for them 10 units, however it come. We gonna put that thing together. So, we definitely, and we probably got to tap in, come check out one of your projects. Your last flip, I seen the pictures, amazing. So
thanks.
definitely nothing but success to you, man. And
Appreciate it.
again, can you hear me, Tone?
Yeah, I hear you.
I was saying congrats again, though.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Well, definitely appreciate you, Tone. I'm gonna let you tap out here, man, and we're gonna bring Temperance up. I think Temperance is in here.
All
And
right.
all right, Tone.
I'll holler at you later.
All right. Thank you, Tone.
Yes, sir.
So we giving y'all a 2-for-1 tonight. We got the first live we just did with Tone. Y'all heard him. He said, look, don't complicate things. Don't be your own mental block. Don't be your own, your own roadblock, basically. Get around the right people and take action. If you take action, everything else will fall in place. And then I love what he just said. He said, yo, you need money, but who said that money has to be your money to do these real estate deals? Whether it's business credit, other people's money, getting partners, these deals, if the numbers make sense, the money will come. So that's definitely that was definitely a game changer. But let's bring up Miss Lady Temperance, TJB Realty. Let me see you in the building. There she go.
Hey,
Hey,
Aunt.
Temperance.
What's up, Anthony?
Not much. What's up? How are you?
And you got me in the hot seat, finally.
Hey, well, twice in 1 week, actually. Twice in 1 week. For those who don't know, Temperance is one of the lead agents on the Good Neighbor Real Estate team. She is a licensed agent in Philadelphia who has been killing it. How long you been in the business, Temperance?
Since 2019.
2019, but she has been helping a whole lot of families since the pandemic started, right?
Yeah.
Another person that's been turning up since the pandemic started. What would you say that's one of the things that, has inspired you or pushed you towards, helping people buy houses, buy and sell houses?
Um,
Or let me,
I like,
what made you want to get into real estate? Let me ask you.
well, you want the honest truth?
Talk to me.
All right. So I have someone who just basically told me that I would do good in real estate. I don't know why they said it, but for whatever reason, they said that I would do good in real estate.
Okay.
And I decided to take them up on their offer. And that's how I ended up getting into real estate.
Nice. So when they told you that, did you see yourself as an agent or as an investor? Like, what was the initial thought process?
And I did not have a clue. I was clueless, I promise you. But what it was, when I was told that I would do good, I just reflected on that statement and I said, well, wow, it's apparently something that they're seeing in me that I don't see in myself. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I need to take action. And that's really how I ended up just falling into real estate. I swear it was like one day I woke up and said, you know what? I'm getting into real estate. I swear.
But no, but the crazy thing is, so Tone just was talking and he said again, if you surround yourself with the right people, you'd be surprised what you can accomplish.
Absolutely.
So it's really good to hear that in regard, like you didn't even know that what you was trying to accomplish yet, but you just knew I liked the idea and it was something positive and you took it and ran with it.
Exactly. And I knew it would be a challenge. I mean, don't get me wrong. Starting something new can create like anxiety and nervousness, but I've always been the one to enjoy a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And because I wasn't really knowledgeable about, all the different aspects of real estate, I felt like it would be a good challenge for me. And
Okay.
it has been a challenge for me.
Okay. So in your journey though, like what steps did you have to take to become a real estate agent?
So, of course, the dreaded, well, the courses. Okay, so you start off with your courses. The courses were fine because I do have college education. So it actually fitted like perfectly for me because when I was told that I would do good in real estate, I was actually just finishing up in graduate school because I had my MBA.
Okay.
And so I was already in that school mode, like, all right, cool. Like, I'm just going to jump into this real estate thing.
Right.
Exactly. So as soon as I got finished, I graduated, whatever the case may be, I had another colleague that said to me, what do you want to do with your MBA? And I was like, you know what? It made me remember back to getting into real estate. So I was like, you know what? I want to go into real estate. So this person actually linked me with this other like firm. At that time, I didn't have my real estate license. I just finished graduating with my MBA. And I don't know if you're familiar, but he used to be a meteorologist on Channel 10. His name is oh my gosh, how am I forgetting his name? Oh my goodness, why am I forgetting his John Belaris? So I ended up linking up with John Belaris, and they have like a luxury real estate company within like the entirety of the luxury. I mean, and within the real estate company that he works with.
Right.
And so they were saying that they were like pleased about like my MBA, but they were like, if you want to get into real estate, you're gonna have to get your license.
Right.
So then that just jump started everything. So because I was already in the mode of school from just finishing up graduate school, I went to Temple's Real Estate Institute, and the courses were fine, but it was the licensure part that was a challenge for me.
Right. The national and state tests.
I mean, the state wasn't that bad.
Right.
That national.
State is only 20 questions.
Yeah, the national gave me a run for my money.
Can we ask how many times you took it?
Yes, I love to tell individuals how many times it took me to pass, because this is the encouragement that I give to first time home buyers. So promise you, I needed to take it 10 times.
Mm,
10. The
mm.
state I passed on the second try, but the national, it legit took me 10 times.
So don't feel bad. It took me 10 times too.
But this is the thing though, Aunt. I'm glad that it took me that long,
Mm.
because I think that it built me up for what was to come once I became an agent. Because being an agent is not just a walk in the park. And you have to have that resilience, you have to be resilient, and you have to be able to like stand your ground and not give up so easily. So I think that experience, it equipped me without me even knowing.
Right. So when you say prepared you to like prepare first time home buyers, like how do you relate that, or what do you tell the first time home buyers in regards to like, yo, the struggle you had and the struggle that do first time home buyers struggle, or what do you like? So tell me about that.
So in the year of COVID, with the crazy sellers market, many buyers were struggling because of the low inventory. There was so many, buyers up against, low inventory. And so there were so many moments where I had buyers who were submitting offers and being diligent with the process, but their offers were being rejected. And so I will oftentimes share my experience of obtaining my real estate license. And although there were times where I felt like a little discouraged, I stayed the course.
Right.
I did not allow myself to get distracted because of what was going on at the moment, because I knew that there was a bigger picture ahead of me. And if I just stayed the course, I would achieve getting a real estate license. And
Right.
I was able to. So whenever I would tell buyers that, I think it did help them, because they would have their moments where they would get frustrated when it was the seller's market. Well, I mean, it's pretty much still a seller's market, but it was even like
Right.
more intense during the summer. But just providing that encouragement, it continued to build them up and keep it, and allowed them to keep pressing forward.
That's dope. So would you say that, I guess, for clients in general, not just first time, but clients in general, you
Mm-hmm.
might have your mind set on something, but
Yes.
it doesn't come as easy as you think sometimes. And that's that struggle part. That, are you doing this because you really want this thing, or is there something attached to the goal that's going to help you when it gets hard, or when it doesn't work as easy as you think it should?
Exactly. And it does. It pretty much, that message, I can use it across all type of situations and circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And I do. I oftentimes hear individuals tell me like, oh, you're very encouraging. I know that encouragement goes a long way, especially when individuals are frustrated. Sometimes you don't know what to say, but just trying to figure out like some type of common ground that you can relate to
Mm-hmm.
what's going on with them, it helps. And I
Right.
do get feedback that it's like, wow, you've been very encouraging throughout the process. So that's something that I stick with,
Right.
and I
Well,
know
that
it's useful.
everybody does speak highly of you. And I mean, you have a settlement tomorrow, right?
Yes, yes, we have our girl going to settlement tomorrow. So I'm very, very excited about that.
So talk about that process of home buying. Like, so like, just say for like the young lady that's buying her house tomorrow, when they first come to you, like, how does it work? Like, if I don't know anything about buying a house, what can I expect when I come to you to start my process?
So pretty much, when we first link up, we will have a consult discussing what are the initial stages of searching for a home, then going into, if you identify a particular home that you like, submitting an offer. What does the offer look like? What contracts you will be signing, and the time frames that we're waiting for the seller to respond back to the offer through their listing agent.
Okay. And then I guess, so once the house goes under contract, like, is that it? I just go to settlement in the week, or like, how's
Well,
that?
no.
What's the
We
next?
wish. Listen, we wish that it could happen in a week, but I mean, there are those other steps that happen thereafter, which are getting your deposit monies in. That's within a specific amount of time. Scheduling a home inspection. The home inspection can be overwhelming because purchasing a home for the first time, there's a lot of terminology that you're not going to always connect with. So it's good to have a realtor. I was listening in on the last interview that you had. having someone that's knowledgeable that went through the process, because
Right.
they can always apply that experience to the next experience and the next experience. So it gets a little overwhelming when your offer is accepted, because sometimes it's just everything is moving so quickly with getting in the deposit money within a certain amount of time,
Right.
scheduling the home inspection, having the home inspection, then having to do the buyer's reply to the home inspection. Oftentimes, especially for individuals who are first purchasing a home, they do have this tendency to believe that whatever is wrong with the home that's identified in the home inspection, that everything is going to be repaired. And so that is not always the easiest conversation, because you're always trying to get to that middle ground where you want to recognize what it is that they're saying, but then also being realistic, like, well, listen, this may be going on, but this is going on. So which one, holds more weight for you? Which one would be more valuable at the end of the inspection process? Which one, which inspections are most valuable to you?
Okay. Okay. All right. So with not settlement, but through your clients in the past, like, do you have any like most memorable moments of like, yo, like that settlement was a great experience, or dealing with that client was a great experience?
Well, it's so interesting that you're saying that, because we have that settlement tomorrow, but
Mm-hmm.
the one that's happening tomorrow, I'm just already like visualizing like the happiness,
Mm-hmm.
the joyous feeling that the buyer will have, because it's just been such a really great experience. Having a certain level of momentum when you're going through the process is going to help you. Trying to be as upbeat as possible. I've had that experience with this particular buyer throughout the process. No matter what was going on, the buyer was able to just hold their head together, keep pressing forward, doing their best not to get discouraged, not getting wrapped up into, okay, they wanted this particular home, but it didn't go in their favor, just trying to move forward. And I believe that having that level of like optimism and just pressing forward ended up allowing the transaction as a whole to move along so smoothly. I mean, I literally said in a conversation, I'm like, well, it wasn't really a tough transaction, but it was because of the personality. So it's like, you have to try to figure out a way to keep yourself motivated through the process, because if you get into those situations where you're submitting offers and they're not getting accepted, that can easily impact your momentum.
Okay. And then can you maybe share like what might make a transaction challenging, or have you had any experience where it was like you needed a glass of wine at the end of the day?
Yes. So, I mean, definitely dealing with personalities, dealing with different personalities within itself is challenging, because of course, when things are going the way that a person wants, then there's a certain disposition that they have. But
Right.
then when things aren't going their way, being an agent, you have to be creative in how you need to respond to them, because you don't want to interject your personal feelings into the situation either. So sometimes dealing with challenging personalities can make the experience difficult, because if the mood of the individual is like fluctuating, then it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to try to gauge, like, okay, by saying this or doing this, is it going to make the situation better, or is it going to smooth things over? But one thing that I realize is just being honest and transparent has
Mm-hmm.
helped me along the way, because like I always say, I may say something that you don't want to hear, but you can never say that I didn't tell you
Tell
what
you the
was going
truth.
on. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So for you being an agent, where are you taking your business, or where do you hope your business goes like in the next 2 to 3 years as an agent?
Well, I actually been trying to explore like uh, additional opportunities within the industry. I'm starting to get like the fever for investing. So I think that's the direction I'm going to go into next. I watch some of the stuff that you do and some of what the other team members of the Good Neighbor team are doing. But I think investing, definitely getting some investment properties like the
Mm-hmm.
multi families.
Okay.
I'm noticing more and more I'm getting like that urge to build my portfolio with multifamilies.
Would you say that being an agent is preparing you or has helped you be able to like start to feel confident to go that way? Or do you feel like, I could have did this without being an agent?
No, absolutely. Being an agent has definitely given me the extra layer of confidence that I needed, because real estate is complex and it's a lot of integral parts of it. And if you don't really understand what's going on, then I mean, either way, there always are going to be mistakes that can be made. But just being a little more knowledgeable will help minimize some of the mistakes that you have, and just being able to understand transactions and knowing when something is a good deal, when it's not. Just having that leverage of understanding what's going on versus just jumping in and not even totally understanding what it is you're getting yourself into. So being an agent has definitely helped me to get to this point and to this level of confidence.
Okay. All right. I like that. So we got some work to do. How soon can we put that timestamp on that first deal?
I would actually say probably within the next couple of months.
Okay. All right.
I've
So,
been like mapping out some things and putting some things in order. So yeah.
all right. Are you looking to be a landlord or are you going to get property manager?
I basically because of the fact that I'm just going to be getting into the investing, I would like to just start off as a landlord.
Mm-hmm.
Um, get the feel of that, and then see what I may want to do thereafter.
Okay. All right. So for those who don't know, we also have a home buyer event December 4th where Temperance will be there. We'll be there, Marlon, myself, and our mortgage lender. So, for those of you who are looking to get your move up house, get your first house, whatever it is you want to do, or if you just want to talk shop, December 4th, get the link in my bio. I'll post it in my story again. We look forward to seeing you guys. This will be I want to say our last in-person event for the year, but on December 4th, we're going to talk about how the young lady is buying her house tomorrow, how the couple that bought their house a week ago with Leah, and they were able to get a grant to buy a house, and I think they got like $15,000 towards the closing costs. So, it's a lot of dope things that are happening, and there's a lot of opportunities still. So, both people that were up here tonight, they basically are saying like, yo, surround yourself with the right people. So if you got goals of home ownership, real estate investing, becoming a realtor, whatever it is, start putting yourself in those rooms so that you can figure out and connect the dots without being in your own head. And again, I'll be the first person to say, like, I didn't really get my stride until I started hanging out with guys like Lorenzo, KR, Dwayne, Mark,
Mm-hmm.
different guys that were, and even Tracy, females that
Yeah.
are doing what I'm doing, but doing it on a higher level, because when you hang around those people, it's only right that eventually they start pulling you up. It just you gravitate to it.
It's the universe. The universe just aligns. And just like the gentleman was saying in the video, that you had before, I agree with him. Like, you have to know what you want to do, because there's so many different things that you can do in real estate. And sometimes when you see, this person, that person doing this, you're like, oh, I want to do it too. But sometimes, you could be fit to do something else.
Right.
So you really do have to have an idea. And that was what was great about being able to join the Good Neighbor team, because I was able to, help individuals purchase homes, but then I was able to still take a look a little further and a little deeper into the industry. Like, well, what else would I like to do? Because
Right.
I knew I didn't just want to be a salesperson,
Right.
but I didn't really know what else I wanted to do. Everybody may not be skilled initially to do flips. It's a lot that's involved, and you see, so many people doing it. Not that you can't, but you definitely want to be as knowledgeable and have the resources that are needed to put you in the best position whenever you're, deciding to go into a different dynamic.
Right. And again, key thing is surrounding yourself with the right people, but again,
Yes.
being open-minded to listen and then gather yourself and then take action. So,
Yes.
that's why I said, again, I want to salute you, because when we first met, you know, you were quiet Temperance, like, hey, I'm here. And now like, you come through, kick the door open, and it's like, you get a house, you get a house, you get a house, everybody get in the house. You know, and it's great just to see you evolve and, you know, open up to the world to let them know, like, all these things are possible. Just tell me what you need. I'm ready to make it happen.
Well, thank you, Anthony. Yeah, I
No,
mean, definitely, like you said, like surrounding yourself with the right individuals. You know, like I was saying when we at the investment blueprint, it was like the universe aligned accordingly. It was a lot of work that I was putting in initially when I first got into the real estate industry, and I was by myself. You know, I was with a firm, but I was trying to figure things out on my own, like going to trainings and seminars, but things just weren't connecting the way
right.
that I desire. And then it was like as soon as I was able to connect with the Good Neighbor team, when I tell you everything was just falling into place. And it was so weird because when I first got my license, the world was wide open.
Right.
And I didn't get one transaction under my belt. And then it was like when COVID happened and I joined the Good Neighbor real estate team, it was like deal after deal. And it was just like I knew it was for me because
Right.
it was like when the world was wide open, nothing wasn't happening for me. And then when the world shut down, it was popping.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. So even in that though, I feel like that's kind of where, like you said, like when we know we can do all these things, we don't
yeah,
have that laser focus. But
exactly.
we sit down and lock in on maybe one or two things.
Yes,
Like you said, certain things fall into place and now you can execute. It's a
exactly.
lot to execute when you're being disciplined versus like, yo, I'm gonna try this today, I'm gonna try that today, I'm gonna try that.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
not that you were all over the place, but just that the universe it couldn't push the things towards you it needed because like, you know, you
I'm
was
here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I was like a bouncing basketball. I was trying to get it, but I just was like, you know, scattered all over the place.
right.
Um, and then I also would say that I've always been a person that's been motivated, but I noticed that my discipline is what allowed me to succeed because there have been a lot of times that I didn't feel as motivated. But by staying the course and just staying disciplined and just knowing that it's going to happen for me, and then when it actually happens for me, then it's like, you know, I can say, I told myself, like, I just want to tell you this. It's so interesting. So when I was struggling to pass the real estate licensure exam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and a couple of my girlfriends, we were out in DC and we went to this Japanese restaurant. And, you know, I was like having my like up and down kind of moods because I couldn't figure out why I was struggling so much to pass the exam.
Right.
And so I had a fortune cookie and it said inside the fortune cookie, it was a note that said, good news is coming soon. So I took that fortune cookie note and I hung it up on a mirror.
Right.
And every day that I would study, I just would look at that and I would say, good news is coming soon. And I just kept telling myself that. And then next thing you know, I passed the exam. And I've
Ooh.
left it there. So I have this same fortune cookie note that says good news is coming soon. And I've just let it remain on the mirror that I hung it up on. And I just oftentimes remind myself, like, from where I was to where I am now and whatever else I'm trying to achieve, good
Mm-hmm.
news is coming soon.
Nah, so that's dope. So that goes even to you know, that thing of the things we tell ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's good or whether it's bad. But if you keep telling yourself, you know, eventually it will align itself. So that's dope
Yes.
as far as the giving yourself them positive words and that positive encouragement. Like you said earlier, that encouragement to even give it to yourself. Because it's easy to give it to other people, but when you give it to yourself, that's a power all on its own. So that's definitely something to definitely take away with that. You know, before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, start your day with positivity, end your day with positivity. And 2022 is approaching fast, so I know this year wasn't the easiest. However, you're still here.
Yes.
If you're still here, that's volume within itself. So it's like,
Mhm.
if you're here, you might as well make it worthwhile.
Exactly.
So, you know, tell yourself, yo, I'm here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Do these things, but I need to, you know, maybe I need to change something. I need to get rid of something. Maybe I need to hang around different people. Maybe
Yep.
I need to pay for this course. Maybe I need to get this mentorship. Whatever it is. Maybe I just need to, I don't know, cut back on drinking soda. Whatever it is that your goals are. But now look, you got 2022 to go ahead and still have that second chance at doing it.
Exactly.
So don't be discouraged. Temperance just said it. Even in my struggle, something good came out of it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I always just think about, I'm like, what if I would have quit? You know, I said it took me 10 times. What if I would have quit the 9th time? I would have never known, because a lot of times I think that that's what creates barriers for individuals, because they don't know when it's going to happen. Because
Right.
of course, if we know when, like if we know on, December
Right.
24th, this is what's happening. You're like, all right, I'm going to ride these next couple of weeks out. But we don't know, and I always just think back to, wow, like if I would have quit that 7th, 8th, or 9th time, I would have never known what was to come. So I always got to feed that message back to to anyone that I possibly can when they get in those moments, and even to myself, because I know that I have to help myself first before I can help anybody else.
No, so that even go like, so one, somebody said manifestations, which is for sure. And then on top of that, that faith. So everybody has a different way that faith looks, but however it looks, you got to believe in something. Believe in yourself, believe in something. And I mean, you just hit it right there, Temperance, where it's like, yo, like, and the funny you said that. So I honestly wanted to quit when I failed the 6th time.
For real?
I'm telling, my 6th and 7th time failing my test, I cried both times.
Oh my gosh, Anthony, I was crying the entire period.
I was cool. The 4th time I was cool. The 7th time I was popped. I cried.
Wait, let me ask you this. Were there moments where you got mad? Because it was times I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I not passing this test?
The 6th and 7th time I got mad, and I literally went, I think the 8th time it took me like 2 more weeks. The 9th and 10th time I failed Monday, passed that Friday. I went back to back. Like at that point I was like,
no, listen, how about I was going to different locations to take the test? I was thinking
want the people to see you come back and like, oh, you failed again. Yup. I was going to King of President and City Line Ave.
I was doing City Ave and then up by because I live near like Bucks County, so I was going to like that location. I mean, you name it, I was doing it. And you know what it was? The one day, this is when I passed. I actually passed the exam when I didn't have a thought in my mind of what was going to happen. Because every time I kept taking the exam, I was like, when I was taking it, I was like, oh, I'm passing this test. Like when I was answering the questions, but when I finally passed, I didn't have any thought in my mind. I just kept focusing on the questions and answering them. And then I remember it was a period of the exam where I was like, wow, like I'm really going through these questions and answering them. And I had to remind myself, chill, just keep focusing, keep answering the question. And Anthony, when I got to the end and that screen said pass, I jumped up. I was like, yes. But then I had to remember, you're supposed to be quiet, because remember, the room is a quiet room where
it don't matter. I passed. I'm gonna make
I was like, and then I looked around like, oh goodness, I didn't, mean to distract anybody else. But it was a really, really good feeling. And because of the struggles that I went through the past, I was like, listen, after everything I went through, I'm about to make some money in real estate. If it's the last thing I do, I need to make some of this exam money back.
Well, I'm glad you didn't quit, because we would have never connected. And then also the clients that you have been helping would have never been able to meet you. Exactly. I tell you, whenever I talk to the clients after y'all get introduced, they like, I don't really want to talk to you. Me and Temperance, we here. So definitely do keep doing your thing. And then my last question for you, what do you have to say to the females, in like specifically, about, one, trying to chase their dreams? Because like you said, you got your bachelor's, you had your master's, and it's almost like, you kind of got to not reinvent yourself, but keep adding to your toolkit.
Yes.
So what can you tell the females out there, whether they want to be in real estate, start a business, in regards to, trying to find their way? Like, what can you help them?
I mean, pretty much all the things that we discussed, surrounding yourself with different individuals. Sometimes individuals that you've known, they may have reached their peak of what they may want to do, and you have to step outside of what's comfortable. Like I remember having a conversation with someone, and I was saying, like, a lot of times I'll go to events by myself, because I think that when you go to an event by yourself, when you're trying to learn and you're trying to reinvent yourself, when you're by yourself, you're more vulnerable, and it's going to force you to kind of like maybe talk to individuals that you don't know. Just, flow through the environment, just vulnerable, where you're willing to take in information from what others that you don't know are telling you. Whereas if you're always like around the same people, you're going to feed off of the same energy that you've always been feeding off from them over the period of time that you've known each other. So you definitely have to make sure that you're vulnerable. Like I
Okay.
said, it has to be a level of discipline that you have to have, because even if you're motivated, it's going to be a lot of times that you're not motivated. And I always say this over and over again. I don't mean to be cliche, but I like stay your course, because like I said, you don't know what's to come next. So giving in too early on and too soon could
Right.
cause you to like detour from what is meant for you. So
Right.
just stay in your course.
Nah, I love it. I love it, and I appreciate you, Temperance. So don't forget, guys, December 4th, if you guys are looking to get your move-up house, if you guys are looking to purchase your first home, we will be in person, the last event of the year, December 4th, in person. Hit the link in my bio. We will be helping you understand how to get a 700 credit score, how to get, the best loans out there so that you can purchase a house, get the best interest rate, and possibly even down payment assistance. And then also, again, just the different funding options that are available, whether you want to go FHA, conventional, the VA loans. Salute to the vets out there today as well. But December 4th, we got you. So make sure you hit the link in my bio. This is the last event of the year that will be in person. Thank you, Marlon. We appreciate you, big homie.
Marlon.
So definitely. Anything else you want to leave them with, Temperance?
I just want to leave everybody with remembering to come to our event on December the 4th. But also, like I said, I repeat things over and over again, but I am a person who believes that what you put out in the universe, it will come back to you. So do your best. Every day is going to look different. And things can become challenging, but do your best to stay optimistic, stay in your course, and just trying to be as encouraged as you possibly can.
Nice. Well, definitely appreciate you, Temperance. Don't forget, follow Temperance. Hit her DM so that you can talk to her about home buying. Any questions or consultations you guys need, Temperance is available. And then again, hit the link in my bio to actually sign up for December 4th. And then we will see you guys Monday night. We will be back Monday night with Mortgage Mondays. Me, myself, Crystal, Temperance. We might be able to even get Marlon up here and Leah. So again, Mortgage Mondays is coming up. So we will see you guys. Thank you, Temperance.
All right. Thank you, everyone. See you, Aunt.
Have a good one.
All right. Good night.